Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Weigh-In's Women's Football TV show. I'm Andrew Southwick.
And I'm Paul Deeney.
And from now to the end of the season we'll be covering match highlights, features and interviews of the women's game in Scotland. Coming up with the first show, we have exclusive match highlights, Spartans attempt the crossbar challenge, a new women's football exhibition opens at Hampden, Kim Little bags her first Scotland hat-trick, Glasgow City lift the first trophy of the season, Bernardo's link up with women's football, and we put Rachel Coursey on the spot.
Tough questions. Glasgow City lifted the first trophy of the season when they won the League Cup. We were there at the first round tie against Kilmarnock. Commentary from Matthew Harold.
Long ball from Grant. Coursey looks to get under it. Coursey misses it. In comes Monroe. Monroe tries to get it and Alexander clears it away. Coursey goes before Cotton and eventually gets it out for a throw in to Kilmarnock. Monroe unlucky there not to put Kilmarnock in the lead as Alexander spread herself well to get the ball away from danger. The throw in comes in. Crossover to Monroe. Monroe finds Cotton and Alexander does well to save there to prevent Glasgow City from going a goal down. Jane Ross gets the ball back from the corner, cuts inside, looks out to the back, the floaty ball finds its way out, goes out to Fernan. Cross in from the right, DL all alone, and she puts the ball well over the bar. In there at the near post, the cross came in and she skied over the bar. And come on with the ball now, playing it long. Coursey gets under it, and the ball makes its way into the Kilmarnock half. Murray plays it long. Coursey gets her head to it. Barnes gets onto the ball. It's Coursey. Coursey to Love. Love looks up and Monroe gets her foot in. Monroe finds Sloan. And the ball eventually makes its way to DL. DL back and Monroe gets in there. She finds Cotton. Cotton crosses from the right. DL clears. And the ball now with Jane Ross. Jane Ross on the left hand side. She works her way forward, cutting inside. Looks up in search and finds, and Grant comes out. Clears long. Barnes heads it on. And Ross finds Bullock. Bullock now to Fernan. Fernan on the right wing. She finds Leanne Ross. Her shot's charged out and Melrose comes in to score the easiest of tap-ins to open the scoring for Glasgow City. The cross from Fernan found Leanne Ross. Her shot was palmed down by Grant but only into the path of Melrose, who opened the scoring for Glasgow City. Come on with the throw in on the left, in the left back position. Throw in's taken. Melrose gets a hold of the ball. Melrose finds Jane Ross. And the ball's cleared long. Coursey. Back to her goalkeeper Alexander. Alexander plays it back to her captain. But Cotton gets the ball. Barnes eventually gets in the way. Coursey now. Back to Barnes. Barnes looks up. She finds Love. Love plays it back to DL on the right hand side. DL looks long again and finds no one, but the ball breaks for Glasgow City. It comes out now to the right hand side. Leanne Ross crosses it. Love 3-0. An easy put away by Love from an excellent cross by Leanne Ross to add to Glasgow City's lead and make it Kilmarnock 0, Glasgow City 3. She was all alone in the middle of the penalty area and slotted the ball by Grant for 3-0. Monroe. Fernan gets in the way. Finds Love. Love now looking for the run of Leanne Ross. She's down the right wing. She crosses for Jane Ross. 4-0 as Jane Ross puts away the cross from Leanne Ross to add to Glasgow City's lead. Monroe gets away. She looks to take on DL. Cuts inside. Cuts in another time. Tries to play the ball wide. Glasgow City have got players there, and eventually Fernan clears. Fernan to Melrose. Melrose holds off the defender. Plays it back to Fernan. Fernan now to McDonald. McDonald back to Fernan again. She looks up. Plays a short ball to Bullock. Bullock now looks on the right wing for Melrose. Melrose now finds Love. Love on the left hand side of the penalty area. Crosses, comes out, comes back to Love. She finds Bullock. Bullock's shot is charged down, and the second attempt is charged down as well and goes out for a corner. Melrose with the throw in. Finds Barnes. Barnes cuts inside and makes it number 5 with a simple tap in from the left hand side. The 1-2 between Bullock and Leanne Ross worked to perfection, and it found Barnes inside her marker, and she slotted the ball home for 5-0. Murray gets the ball, looks on, finds Cotton. Cotton inside to Sloan. Sloan to Patterson, and it's cut out by Melrose. Leanne Ross now. Leanne Ross to Jane Ross. Jane Ross crosses in Melrose. Simple header, number 6. The cross in from Jane Ross found Melrose inside the box to claim number 6 for Glasgow City. Fernan finds Jane Ross. Jane Ross looks up, plays it to Love. Love now back to Bullock. Bullock plays it into the penalty area, but it's cut out. But Melrose gets there and gives it to Jane Ross. Jane Ross on the left hand side. Goal! A superb goal by Jane Ross from the left hand side. She got the ball from Melrose. She's seen the keeper off a line and chipped it over the substitute goalkeeper to give Glasgow City a 7-goal lead. Throw-in on the left wing. Comes in now, trying to get away is Kilmarnock, but it breaks out to Jane Ross and number 8. Superb strike, cutting inside from the left wing. Jane Ross gets yet another goal to make it 8-0. Now the ball played long. Corsi gets under it. Turns her opposition player Monroe, but Monroe gets the ball back, plays it to McManus. McManus now to Cotton. Cotton on the right wing, looks to take on the Glasgow City captain Corsi. Corsi gets in there and claims the ball and plays it out to Bullock. Bullock loses possession to Patterson. Patterson plays it back out to Cotton. Cotton now looking to go down the right again, gets by her player, crosses it in for McManus. McManus turns and shot that is easily saved by Alexander in the Glasgow City goal, and she looks to restart play as Glasgow City look to go forward in search of another goal. The ball comes out on this left hand side. Leanne Ross looking up now. She's got an overlapping player, but she decides to strike the ball and it goes just wide of goal. Ball cleared by Kilmarnock. McDonald falls. It eventually finds its way to Corsi. Corsi looks up now, sees the keeper off a line and hits the Kilmarnock bar. The Glasgow City captain looked to get on the score sheet there with an audacious attempt from some 25 yards. Seen the keeper off a line, but unfortunately it hit the bar and went out of play. Corner in. Comes out to Leanne Ross, and a good save there by Casey to save Kilmarnock from going further behind as Leanne Ross looked to put the ball in the top corner. Another corner now. Finds McSorley, and that's number 9. A great header from the corner from the left wing. She got in between our markers. Found the goal from 6 yards out. That makes it Kilmarnock 0, Glasgow City 9. McDonald gets on the ball. Finds Jane Ross. Jane Ross puts it wide to Leanne Ross. Number 10. The simplest of tap-ins for Leanne Ross as she was put in by Jane Ross to make it Kilmarnock 0, Glasgow City 10.
Glasgow City went on to lift the League Cup with a 5-1 win over Spartans.
The away end were at the final, and after the game we got post-match reaction from both sides. First of all, congratulations. Just what are your reflections on the game?
Yeah, obviously, we had a great first half and got the lead, and that really set us off. And I think we played at a high tempo, which was our aim, and to get an early goal settled us down. And I think we're really pleased. And it's been a while since we've won the League Cup, and it was an aim of ours at the start of the season that we wanted to get off to a good start, and we've done that, so we're pleased.
I think the start to the game that we had to go up 1-up very early gave us probably knocked a wee bit of confidence at the Spartans because we played them previously. So I think the first half performance was really good for us.
I think we really pressed from the front. I mean, we dominated and we really forced them into their own half for most of the game really. And I think we kept the ball well, and I think we were the better team in the first half and deserved the lead. And obviously, once we got that lead, it was also going to be difficult for them to pick it back.
Disappointing result, but no disgrace to lose to Glasgow City.
No, definitely not. They're a very good side, best side in the league by far, and we knew it was going to be tough. We're not a team that isn't realistic, but I think we gave a good account of ourselves, and especially after the league defeat that we suffered. I said to the girls, listen, as long as we come away, win or lose or whatever, with our dignity intact and we perform to the level that I know you can perform to, then I'll be happy, and I'm really, really proud of all my players. The thing is that if you make mistakes against teams like Glasgow City, then they'll punish you. And I think we gave away 3 kind of very cheap goals, unfortunately, and missed a couple of chances ourselves. So, listen, the 9-0 defeat, we didn't turn up, and it was a hard one to take in the league. And I'm, as I said before, really proud of my players and thought they turned up today.
No 2 games are ever the same, and it's a cup final, so Spartans have got a lot of pride about them, so they're always going to come out fighting tonight. The mess at half time was just we didn't have to go and force the game then. Well, we're 4-0 up, so realistically, if we just kept the ball, then the cup was won.
I think scoreline would have been closer if it hadn't been for the weather, because that was difficult for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, the weather played its part, obviously, but the thing is that football's an outdoor sport, so you've got to be able to play in all conditions. It's not like cricket. When it rains we don't go inside, so you've got to be able to adapt to them as a team. And I felt we did alright, but yeah, it makes the surface faster and it makes it more difficult for the goalkeepers to judge the ball, but no excuses.
And were you happy with your own performance?
Yeah, I think overall we were solid. We're disappointed that we've conceded a goal. It's poor from our point of view, and obviously we'd have liked to get a clean sheet. But I think everyone's done a good job today, went out and done well, and everyone can reflect on a good game and a good win.
We just, to be honest with you, we're delighted obviously to win this cup. We've not won it for a couple of seasons, but we've got to try and get through the break. Hopefully with 3 wins in the league and the Scottish Cup next round. So we just keep going one game at a time, and we'll never set targets to say we'll win this and win that. Whatever comes, comes.
Throughout the season we'll be doing the crossbar challenge as a nod to Soccer AM. First up this week was Spartans. I'll show you how it's done. I couldn't do that to that one.
Last month, the Hampden Museum launched the first Ladies of Scottish Football exhibition. Cheryl Smith went along to the opening. Johnson may hit it again. That's embarrassing.
Everyone knows that the Hampden Museum is a must-see football experience. Today they're honouring women's football with a brand new exhibition documenting the 130-year history of the game. We spoke to the artist Stuart Gibbs and Hall of Fame inductee Rose Riley. How proud are you to see your work displayed in the museum at Hampden?
Oh yeah, sure. Just to have such a high-profile venue, it's quite something, yeah.
How did you first become involved in the exhibition?
Well, I'm actually involved with Glasgow City Football Club, and from that I got involved in a project down in England called Moving the Goalposts, and from the research I was doing from them, it sort of developed up. It's uncovering things that have not really been seen before, so that really got me sort of going on it. So I thought, when I approached Hampden, we thought it'd be a really good idea to go with this, because I've got information that few people have seen before.
I actually thought it was one of the pioneers of women's football, but then I see it dates back to the 18th century. Wow, that's great. So we didn't really get the recognition we deserved. There were very talented players when I was playing. I think it's more of a team game nowadays because it's better organised, and we were like a lot of individuals playing.
The amazing thing about the exhibition is the history of women's football. It goes back further than I thought it did, and many of those role models are a real inspiration of women at the time to get involved in the sport. But when you look at the position of women's football now, with Scotland ranked 21 in the world, there is now an ability to play at a very, very senior level in women's football in Scotland, and that's very, very good indeed.
How much support do you think the SFA give to women's football, both promotionally and financially?
A lot more in recent times. I think the SFA have realised that there is a big opportunity in girls and women's football, and we now have the regional development officers for girls and women's football, and I think when you look at the National Performance Centre as well, for the elite players, it's going to benefit the women's game and women playing at the top of their game as much as men. So there's a lot happening within the SFA and across Scotland generally in support of women's football.
How much of an appreciation have you gained of the women's game from looking at it more closely?
Oh, quite a lot. I've been following women's football. I think my first match was a Scotland game at Love Street. I think it was 1990 or something like that. So I've been in and out. I've been more involved in the game sort of like the last few years or so. And I used to follow Queen's Park and then went over to Glasgow City because they won more trophies. It's a glory hunter, so there you go.
So you were a fan of the game before you actually got involved? Sure. Do you think the inclusion of women's football in the Summer Olympics and the Commonwealth Games will help change people's perception of the game?
Yeah, well, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing the women's football here at Hampden at the Olympics, and I think it does. I think whenever a sport is selected for the Olympics, I think it does help to boost the involvement in that sport and sometimes the funding of the sport as well. So I do think it's a positive thing, but I think women's football in Scotland was certainly on the rise before that anyway, but I think it can only help to make that happen even more.
This season the away end is sponsoring Glasgow City star and Scotland international Rachel Cossey. We caught up with her after training to find out what she's like.
Rachel Cossey. 22. Centre half. Aberdeen. It was probably, the first one I can remember was I was the mascot against Hibs when I was about 8. 1-0. I missed the goal, so it was scored in the first minute and I was getting changed. Don't really have one. We'd probably say mum and dad. As cliched as that is. No. Fernan. Probably just when you're playing Germany. Couldn't pick one. Yeah. Probably Emma Mitchell. Lisa Evans. Probably me. Tough questions. I would like to be a female version of James Bond. Win the league, qualify for the European Championships, and to get back fit. Messi.
Bernardo's recently linked up with Scottish women's football. Cheryl Smith went along to Hampden to find out what the story was.
So why is Bernardo's choosing women's football as a partnership?
Well, speaking for women's football, I think it's a good vehicle to help raise awareness. We have lots of young girls play football, and the fact that they're there, they're fit, they're healthy, they're happy, is what Bernardos want to see when they foster out their child. So I think it's a good fit in that relationship.
We're delighted that we have this partnership because we encourage our young people to be active, healthy, fit, and we want them to grow up to be good, responsible citizens. And as part of the government agenda, they want us to encourage young people to be more active, to get into sport. So we think this is a really good way of showing that we're committed to that agenda.
Why is Bernardo's chosen Scottish women's football as opposed to the men's game?
Well, we think there's probably an awful lot of publicity and marketing around the men's game. We're really keen to try and get our young women involved in sport, and we think this is an opportunity to both highlight women's football and to encourage the young women that we look after to be more active and healthy.
So one of the things that today has brought is a bit of sponsorship into some of our teams. There's teams in Aberdeen, Dundee, Falkirk and Kilmarnock, all benefiting from this partnership. And we do hope through the season to sort of raise more awareness and perhaps encourage Bernardos to come in other areas as well. But what we have to realise is that women's football is the fastest growing sport, and it's good for us to be able to encourage partnerships like Bernardos. We don't get the same level of publicity, and we're always looking for sponsorship and partners, and Bernardos just really fits the bill.
It is not just football clubs that are actively promoting the game and encouraging female participation. Media outlets are doing so too. One such organisation is The Away End, a website run by UWS that allows sports journalism students to produce a variety of news and associated features. I'm joined by editor Andrew Southwick, who is here to talk about issues including how women's football has developed in terms of media attention and interest it receives, and also explain in what ways The Away End are increasing their coverage of it. Thanks for joining me today, Andrew.
No problem.
Can you briefly describe your role in The Away End and the overall objectives of it, please?
Basically, my role is to create opportunities for students. So we have a website, a podcast, soon we're starting a new TV show. So it's basically to give students a platform to get work experience themselves instead of having to go outside the university. You can do it within the university. So also with different projects set up with the Scottish FA, Basketball Scotland, with people who do different video packages, podcasts. That's basically what my role is.
And is women's football something that you focus on?
Yeah, we've just started getting into it. I mean, it was only the past couple of months. We were actually approached by the Dal Broadfoot, the Scottish Football Association. He'd said none of the media was really covering it, and would we be interested? For us, it's a bonus because we're looking for something that all students can get involved in. To do interviews, not just written match reports, but broadcast reporting as well. And you can't really do that with the SPL, for example, because you can't get full access. Women's football can get full access, so we can do everything. So for us, it's a bonus, and obviously for women's football, they need the promotion as well.
So do you think it's important to cover that topic?
Yeah, definitely. I think where we're coming from, we're trying to build up our name. and women's football sort of on that same level. They're desperate for for promotion. So I think it's important for us to be concentrating more on grassroots stuff. I think everyone covers the SPL, Scottish Premier League, so it's for us, we're covering grassroots stuff like that, not just women's football, but any sport, I think.
Obviously you're at the heart of it now, but do you think coverage of women's football overall is something that will increase in the media?
Yeah, I think it's one of the fastest growing sports, if you like, in Scotland. You know, a couple of years ago, I mean, especially in Scotland, because a couple of years ago Scotland were quite bad at it, and Anna Skinner's coming over from Sweden. She's now the master manager, and she's taken the Scotland team to another level. And then you've seen Glasgow City, the top team, you know, last 16 in the Champions League, only amateur team to get there. So the standards rising, and that's in turn getting more interest. So it is rising, and also a lot of things, you know, people look at women's football and they look down on it. Them attitudes are starting to change as well. We're starting to see the standard. So it's definitely rising.
Why do you think it doesn't receive a lot of attention in the mainstream media?
I think it's just overshadowed simply by men's football. I think it's the same in every sport, really. You know, you wouldn't really cover women's rugby, even things like hockey, which are played by men and women. Men is still more popular. Like men's football, it's dominated in Scotland. It's more like a religion. So, women's football, to be compared to, it will never be on the same level. But then, if you speak to women footballers, they'll point out to you they don't want to be compared to men's footballers. They want to be compared to other sports. So I think it will. I think attitudes will change, but it will take time.
What do you think could be done to move this forward and change the attitudes and the amount of attention that it gets?
It's difficult until people have actually gone to a women's football match. I mean, I'll be honest, the first time I covered a game, I wasn't expecting much, and then I was blown away by how good, I think it was Glasgow City actually, we were playing for, and I was blown away by how good they actually were. Not just how good the individual players were, but how they were set up as a team. You know, the passing football. You know, I'm used to watching men's football teams that are playing long ball football, and this is a women's team that are trying to play like Barcelona. So I think when people see more and more of it, a good quote actually from the weekend was Eddie Willicke-Black, who's a Glasgow City manager, and he pointed out that most people, the first time a lot of people saw Glasgow City was when they played Potsdam in the Champions League and they got beat 17-0 over 2 legs, and a lot of folk thought, well, there you go, he's a lot of rubbish. But that's unfair because Potsdam are a professional team and they play to crowds of 8,000 people. Glasgow City playing for free. So I think people just need to see a bit more of it, and then I think people's attitudes will change.
Going back to the away end and what you do at the moment there, do you currently have any females who produce with you?
We do, but we don't have enough. The problem is trying to get women into sports journalism. You know, when people apply for UWS, they apply. If women generally apply for journalism, men apply for sports journalism. So it's trying to get people to cross over. I think the girls who do cover sport, they need to sometimes prove themselves a bit more. I think the same way that, you know, female sports person people are looked down on, same way sports journalists as well. So.
You said about the sports journalism course at UWS. How important do you think that is in encouraging females not only to get involved in sports journalism, but to take a wider interest in football and sports in general?
Yeah, I think it's. I have to think about this one. Yeah, I think it's important in the sense that, you know, we've got a role to play at the university in getting everyone involved in everything. You don't want anyone to feel that, you know, they're left out. So we want to get more women involved, but I don't think it's majorly important. I think you know, as far as covering sport is, I think it's obviously a nice thing to have more women involved. So it's more, you know, in the same way, like the same, you know, any club you want more diverse, and I think it's the same with the course.
If more women were to be seen as being successful in terms of sports journalists, do you think that would encourage girls to take an interest in being active in sport even more and maybe even get into the media?
Yeah, I think it would. I think it's because it gives, you know, women something to look up to. I think you know, everything is male dominated, and obviously talking about football, it is male dominated, and people's idols are male. So the more women, I think it is important. I think you know, there's a lot of really good female sports journalists now who are really making a success of themselves. I think if you name the top 5 sports journalists in Scotland, I think you'd always say men, but if you actually sit and look at it, you know, the stuff that's actually being produced, I think there are more women certainly moving up. So, you know, I think it gives confidence to all women. So I think it would.
Thank you very much for your time and your input today, Andrew. That's all for now.
Scotland ladies are now 1 point away from qualifying for the Euro 2013 playoffs. Scotland ladies are now 1 point away from qualifying for the Euro 2013 playoffs after taking 6 points against Israel and Ireland last month. We caught up with Kim Little after the 8-0 thrashing of Israel. No, I'm having a go.
Was there a level of confidence going into today's game after the 6-1 win against Israel previously?
Yeah, I think so. I think we beat them quite convincingly over there, and we came into this with a win against Ireland. So yeah, it was positive coming into it, and I think we did really well, especially the first half, and got 7 goals and then continued that into the second half. So it was good.
Do you think the 3 early goals helped the team settle?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we spoke about before the game, like starting well, because we conceded an early goal last time against them. So I think we went out and did that, and scoring, I don't know, 3 goals in 15 or 20 minutes, whatever it was great for us.
You scored you played a big part in it, scoring a hat-trick. How was that?
Yeah, it was great. My first hat-trick for Scotland, so I was pleased with that, and pleased to get on the score sheet and get the 3 points.
Does today's win give you confidence that the team can qualify?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we've got 3 games left now, and you know, we go into especially the next 2 against Wales and Ireland just getting 2 wins, which will hopefully give us a second place, and so a possibility to qualify for the Euros. So you know, we're excited by that prospect and can't wait to get into them.
What did the manager say to you at half time? 7 goals up?
Yeah, she was just really pleased with the way we'd started and the way we'd sort of kept the ball and kept pressurising them and to get 7 goals. So it was just really to continue that into the second half.
Did you find the second half a lot tougher than the first half?
Yeah, you know, in games change. They're not always going to be the same as the first half, and I think we sort of took our foot off the pedal a little bit in terms of the tempo. But you know, we kept going. We got another goal, so we're just pleased to get 8 goals and a clean sheet.
Do you think this victory gives you a bit of breathing space between you and Ireland, given they've got a game against France?
Yeah, it's good to get the 3 points, but they've got a game I think this evening against Wales, so you know that'll play a part. But you know we can't sort of back down at all because you know they're only 1 point behind us. So you know we're still aware of them very much.
That's it for the first episode of the Weigh-In's Women's Football TV show. Remember to check out the website www.theweighin.net, and remember you can email us at editor@theweighin.net. Myself, Paul, George and Danny, thanks for watching. Till next time, God bless.